Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Mike. You're watching my aviation channel, and today's video I've been waiting for so long. I'm so excited to show this, but this, if you haven't guessed by the title, is my epic simulator, DCS and Microsoft Flight Simulator rig. I've been planning this for, when I say ages, I mean I've been planning this for years. I've always wanted to do it. I've never done it before, and I thought I would dip my toe in the water around about 6 months ago. And if you noticed, I started uploading some Microsoft Flight Simulator videos, and I bought myself an Xbox. I'm not a gamer. I don't really play games that often. So I bought myself an Xbox, and I thought I would download Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I bought the Xbox just for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I bought myself the Thrustmaster HOTAS entry-level Xbox PC compatible flight control system. We had the control column, we had the rudder pedals all linked together, and that was my setup. Have a look at this. You can see what I was working off, and this was what got me into it. So I built the wooden frame myself so it fits underneath the desk, and also so my rudder pedals didn't slide on the floor. It worked pretty well, but I knew deep down that wasn't going to satisfy me. So I started to document the process of building my DCS / Microsoft Flight Simulator setup. And guess what? I lost all of the footage. So I'm so sorry. We're going to be doing a video of my setup, but you'll just see it as it is now. And I'll talk you through the process and the things that I have bought for it. So before we go on to see the flight simulator, I have to give a big shout out to my really good friend, Jordan. Jordan has just opened a restaurant in Portsmouth, and he has kindly sponsored this video to make the simulator happen. So if you're in the Portsmouth area and you want a really good meal, you've got to go check out Smoke and Mirrors. I'll put the link in the description down below, all the address, and if you mention me, they'll look after you anyway. So just go in there and check it out for yourself. Honestly, guys, I wouldn't promote something I wouldn't go to myself, and it was one of the best meals I have ever had. So anyway, thanks to Smoke and Mirrors for making this dream happen. And let's go and see my rig. So guys, that's why I'm in the flight suit. This is the first time I've actually worn the flight suit in the simulator, I promise. I'm not that much of a geek. I am a geek. I am a massive geek. And I'm so excited to show you this. Right, so before we start, the budget wasn't unlimited. I did this on a budget. So I'll show you where I saved money and where I couldn't. We bought most things either pre-owned or like box damaged X-Display. So I went as budget as I possibly could on it. But I'll show you what came out and how it looks. So, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. And there she is. So, guys, what do you think? So, I went for the 3 monitor setup. Now, this is set up in DCS at the moment. And I've got it running in 1080p. So, they say with DCS, really start with one aeroplane, one aircraft that you've been passionate about all your life, and learn that aircraft, because honestly, it's not easy if you've never, especially if you're a novice, and come into it, it's a massive learning curve. So I went with the 3 monitor setup on it because I already had this Samsung monitor spare just sitting around. So I decided I was going to buy 2 of the monitors exactly the same. I wanted them black originally, but I think they go quite well with the white keyboard and white mouse. And I couldn't find any more of these monitors. I bought this one about 2 or 3 years ago, and I thought, I'll try Argos again. It wasn't there. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, but I saved myself an absolute bomb. So there's around about £1,200 worth of monitors here, with the original cost. I managed to get these 2 monitors for just over £150. So that was really, really good, a really good saving. So moving down, we're going to go down to, well, what we can see is the rudder pedals. So I saved money on the rudder pedals by using and utilising the Thrustmaster ones that came before. I actually like them. Some people say they're too sensitive, but I actually got on really well with them. I thought they were very close to like a Cessna in real life. I felt that they felt the same. So I was happy using them. And what I bought for them was 3D printed jet pedals. So they just bolt on and it just gives it that more of a jet fighter look. They're very similar to the Tomcat ones actually, and I'm happy with these for now. We will see how it goes and maybe upgrade at a later date. So moving out, the monitors. So I just bought some monitor stands, some TV stands from Amazon. They come on wheels, but I didn't need the wheels. So we put the TV brackets there, and then the one in the center is a gaming monitor bracket. So they're a bit more expensive then. I think that's about £70. But to add the other two on, I bought the two. The only reason I needed the gaming bracket was because I needed the space underneath. So to save money, rather than buying 3 of those, we bought the monitor brackets from Amazon and then the gaming bracket in the center. And then altogether, the costing on them was around about, I think it cost £200 for the monitor bracket setup. So moving on, the next thing is going to be the gaming rig. So that is the actual, all the metal work that the chair sits on. So we're not talking about the chair for now, because that's a real Might & Baker ejection seat. We're going to be talking about just the frame that holds the chair, that holds the pedals, where the HOTAS stick goes, holds the joystick, and then gives you a little bit of real estate for your mouse and keyboard here. So that I got for a bargain on eBay. So I bought it brand new, and it was around about £100, maybe a little bit more. I'll put a screenshot in so you can see the bare bones of it and what I bought. Now, I reached out to Next Level Gaming because they do a really cool military setup. And I wanted to see if they wanted to do something with the channel, work together, or even just offer a tiny, tiny little bit of discount on it. But they didn't reply to my email, which I was pretty disappointed about, really. So I decided to build my own. And I thought, you know what? I'm not just going to build my own. I'm going to build a better one. And in my opinion, I think that's what I've done here. So that's the frame. But the most exciting part of this whole build was the Might & Baker ejection seat. So this is the lower pan of a Might & Baker ejection seat. Now, I did think about getting a whole seat, but the first thing was price, and second thing was it's just a bit big for your house. So I've got this in my office, and it's just a little bit big with that. So what I did is I bought a Might & Baker new old stock seat pan, and I got the survival pack underneath with a military cushion. That's not actually off a Might & Baker ejection seat. I think it's out of a helicopter, but it works really well. I'll just take this knee board off there. Works really well. And then we put a real ejection handle in, which I'm going to wire up so it works in the game. And it works really, really well. This is a real sheepskin cover from an ejection seat as well. So if I move this helmet, and we'll talk about that later on, you can see there that, in my opinion, that is much better than the Next Level Gaming chair. And we've got a parachute pack on the back. Again, a genuine Irving parachute pack. No parachute in it, but I padded it with foam. So it just gives that military feel and look and smell. So it smells a little bit like a jet cockpit when you get in it. So that was my aim. Even got a real ejection seat handle here. I think this is either off a Phantom or an A7 Corsair. I think it's more likely off the Corsair 2. But we're going to wire this in so it really works in the game. And you can just pull it out and stick it back in. So there's my Might & Baker ejection seat. I'm not saying this is going to last forever. There's a potential that we will get a real one, like a full-size one. But for now, I like it. It's comfy and it's easy to get into. Moving on, I bought the Warthog controllers. So these were bought from eBay. I tried to save money by going to CEX. That's like an exchange company in the UK. But they cancelled my order and refunded me. So we ended up going on eBay and getting a brand new one, but it was a display one in a window. And it saved a hell of a lot of money. So guys, you don't have to go out and buy everything brand new. You can get pre-owned or ex-display stuff as well. One of the things I think I may have wasted my money on was the subwoofer. So again, I didn't go all out with a really expensive one. I think it was around about 60 quid. And it sounds really good when it's on. However, I have the helmet which I've converted, so we'll talk about that again in a bit. So I find myself not using that. So that potentially a waste of money. One thing I put into the frame, I screwed in to the monitor bracket a iPad, tablet, phone holder, because I find myself needing that a lot playing on the game, especially if I need to find out how to do something, need a tutorial, or we want to download PDFs, NATOPS manuals and things like that. Ideal to go on there. I've also found that a kneeboard with notes is really a necessity. And I've bought this. This is out of a real aeroplane. It's called a letdown chart. And you can put your own paper in here and it lights up as well. I thought it's pretty cool. I mounted it on one of the spare brackets that I had with the set, and it just goes there, and I can put my notes inside there and look at them as well. So that was, I think, a really cool purchase. Again, adding to the realism, the smell, the textures, just having a bit of history there involved in it as well. Next, we're going to move on to the button box. So you can see I'm still configuring some of these buttons on there, but it's a bit loose actually. It's quite cool. I like this. Makes it a lot easier. I'm still configuring buttons on there as I'm learning the Tomcat. I've got an ejection button there, but that's going to go and get wired into that. So button box, pretty cool. Again, I'll probably find I get a bigger one or get another one over this side at some point or another. The computer. So you probably want to know about the computer. So the computer, I wanted to do as budget if possible and get VR. So we're going to move on to the VR story. So moving over here, we have a Pico 4 VR headset. And I got it to run, but it didn't run how I wanted it to. Unfortunately, the computer setup that I've bought, because I said I've done all this on a budget, it will run DCS at at high resolution and with relatively good graphics, as you can see here. I'm really happy with the graphics here. However, with the VR headset, this graphics card won't handle it. So it's a GeForce 3070. Now I'm a little bit behind the times with all the graphics cards and all the things going on in the PC. However, I do know that is probably, if you're looking at doing this, I'd probably say entry level. I did my research online and they were saying that that wasn't entry level, there was lower than that. But if I got lower than that, I just wouldn't be happy with the setup that I've got. I spent overall on this computer around about £700, and it's got 32 meg of RAM, a terabyte hard drive, the 3070 graphics card, and iCore 7 processor in it. It looks cool, looks the part. It's green as well, so it goes with the HOTAS. However, I know that will be upgraded, but I wanted something to get me into DCS, get me going and get some content going, and that's done the trick. So I'm really happy with that. So mouse and keyboard, they were just a cheap mouse and keyboard I had lying around the house, but again, they went with the monitor, so I was happy with that. My own mouse mat, have a look, they're available on the website if you want one. And moving on to the helmet. So the helmet was the thing I was mostly impressed about. It was very simple, and I think we're still going to make some modifications to this helmet. I'm thinking of making it VR compatible. When we get the new graphics card, we're going to turn this into a VR helmet, I think, and make it look like the new F-35. I'm going to get it carbon dipped and just do some stuff with it. I'll give you a sneak peek now, but I have a carbon fiber Apache visor cover, and it's very big enough to hide a VR headset. So there's a sneak peek into the next project. But for now, I really like this. So we've got one of the cheap Chinese flight helmets. I don't know if you've seen them. I would never advise to fly with one of these. They are this one's made out of ABS plastic, I think. It's not fiberglass or carbon or anything like that. Probably would protect you a little bit, but they are very cheap. They're about £130. So if you're buying a flight helmet, like I've got a few over there, £130 ain't going to get you much. But I thought for the flight sim, and because we're going to be messing around with it, I got a cheap Chinese one. I managed to integrate inside a Turtle Bay gaming headset. So that's what you see there. And then we put the IR detectors onto the helmet. I experimented with using IR glint tape and putting just 3 cutouts. It didn't work as well as that did. So again, we might do something else. It did work, but we might do something else in the future with that. So there we go. It's got Mike Maverick Barnett on the back. And if you have a look, you can see it now. So there you go, guys. Have a look at that. So you can see, move the helmet, and it moves where you're looking at in the cockpit. So it works really, really well. Really happy with that. One of the cheaper purchases. So we'll talk about this actually. The Track IR5, I think it is. So these guys here, that's the bit of hardware that tracks your head on here. So that is fairly expensive for what it is. They're around about £200. However, I went onto Amazon and typed in Track IR5, and this little thing came up. Now, it was exactly the same as the Track IR. However, this was £50, not £200. So I thought, it's the same. It looks the same. Maybe like it's a Chinese copy. So I got it, and it just turned up in a box. No instructions really, apart from go download the software. So I didn't know what software to download. So I downloaded the Track IR5 original software, and there we are. It worked. So I don't know how much better the Track IR5 is to this. However, I've had no problems with this at all. So let me know what you think. If you've had bad experiences with it, put it in the comments down below. Let everyone know. I'll pin the comment as well. But it works well so far. So I think I've covered pretty much everything. Now, if you want a separate video on anything, let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. I will even take the chair apart and show you it bit by bit if you want to see the chair. And now we will be doing some DCS content and some Microsoft Flight Simulator stuff in here. I cannot wait. Let me flick the camera back round. So guys, now I'm dressed up. I'm going to get in the simulator. I'm going to have a go on it, and I'm going to start to enjoy this. I cannot wait. There's going to be loads of DCS stuff coming. We're going to download the Phantom on DCS when it comes out as well. We'll review that. I'll compare that to the actual real Phantom simulator that we've been in. Have a look at the other videos, guys, if this is new to you. I've got loads of aviation content on the channel. Anything you want to know, please let me know. Any comments, pop down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please click a thumbs up, and remember to click that notifications bell. You get all my latest uploads. So once again, I want to say a big thank you to Jordan at Smoke and Mirrors. Thank you for sponsoring this series. And yes, it's going to be a series. We're going to be doing loads of videos in the simulator. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. Let me know what you think. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.